Alright, it's June 4th, 2022 today. Polish Idol winner Alicja turns 37 years old. So I'm going to go on a 37-hour fast in dedication to her. I am 14 hours into fasting. Now, I want to dedicate this one fast to also the idea that when we fast, we open up our creativity. That's a big one for me, and every time I fast, I seem to come up with all sorts of creative ideas. I was living in a house in Phoenix with multiple housemates, and I had a difficulty. These housemates were a little bit younger than me, and they didn't have very good habits. We couldn't keep toilet paper in the bathroom. They would borrow it to use for something and then forget to put it back, and silverware kept disappearing. Very frustrating. I was joking with my housemate about how I had gotten over my eating disorder because a year previous, if I was ready to eat and silverware wasn't available, I would be a huge mess. I've had times where I've gotten into fights with people over it. I've had times where I've caused a lot of relationship strife, let's put it that way. And I was joking with my roommates, thank God it happened this year, after I've gotten over my eating disorder. And we had some discussion about that, and you know what happened? The next day, the silverware reappeared for whatever reason. And all the kitchen supplies reappeared. I think what happened was the roommate I was joking with, he was the one who accidentally misplaced all the items. And when I told him in a joking way, and he realized that, wow, this is something that you don't want to mess with the wrong person with, it probably motivated him to put it back, right? Had I got angry with him, it might have turned out differently, right? First of all, I might have gotten evicted from the place, and second, he probably would have thought I deserved it, right? So it's good that I had a healthy relationship and was able to put the food down and go do something else, right? That's what I mean by open creativity, right? Now, the problem with food in our society is that it has become a big cult, right? If you don't eat the way your coworkers eat, if you don't eat the way your family eats, a lot of times, can you imagine, replace the food with something else, right? Replace it with religion or sexuality. Can you imagine bringing the kind of attitude we do toward food, but with religion or sexuality, to the office? No way, right? Nobody would tolerate that, right? But with food, it seems to be okay, right? I don't know why. I really don't. Now, what's really sad is that as much as we talk about what happens when we eat too much, right? Obesity and all the other chronic health problems that come with it, compromising our immune system, making us much more susceptible to COVID-19 and all that. Okay, that's one side of the story, but there's another sad human side of the story. All the lost creativity when we eat, right? So right now, a lot of Americans are complaining about the high cost of food. I'm recording this in June of 2022. Last year, our Let's Go Brandon increased the amount you can get on food stamps. Now, something hit me when he increased the amount. So, Let's Go Brandon was talking about how in a lot of other countries in the world, they're having trouble accessing this one pharmaceutical product, right? I don't agree with it, but let's say they're right about that pharmaceutical product, and the rest of the world is having trouble getting one dose. And Let's Go Brandon said maybe we need to hold off on getting a third or a fourth dose, right? Actually, I think they started the program on the fourth dose already. And yet, in the same breath, he's talking about how Americans are going hungry when the reality is most Americans are overdosing on food. And oh my God, let's give everybody a fifth and a sixth dose, right? With more food stamps. That's what I heard in my mind, right? I'm like, that doesn't add, right? Of course, what he really means is we need to get people so drunk and high on food that they'll vote for me, right? That's what he's saying, right? He didn't say it that way, obviously, but that's what I heard. That's what I heard. Let's get people to eat so much that they forget their creativity and they can think outside the box. If they think outside the box, they might go vote libertarian, and I might lose. Right? That's what he's saying. But he didn't say it, obviously. And So I dedicate this fast to open creativity. I'll probably write some music about the fast. Believe it or not, I talked to Alicja. She's a Facebook friend of mine. Believe it or not, I'll give her some suggestions on music about fasting and all that. I don't know. She loves healthy eating as well. She has I think she has a garden of her own, and she has pages about going vegan and all that. I'm not vegan, by the way. So that's the sad part, right? How many cures for cancer have we lost to somebody who was too busy eating? How many cures for COVID-19 we've lost? How much innovation we've lost, right? Just go to any workplace, and the food culture there is incredibly toxic, right? It seems like the more experienced the workplace, oh my God, the more toxic the food culture is, right? I find that the younger somebody is, the more open they are to differences in food culture, right? I work at a tutoring center. I don't seem to have a hard time refusing any food that the kids offer me, right? But when I have a colleague, especially an Asian colleague who acts like a mother or father figure to me, right? I worked at a startup university, and for a time I had a boss who was Asian, in his mid-50s, I want to say, and he thought he could run my life for me. Let's put it bluntly. And he thought I was missing out on eating, on dating, on whatever, right? It doesn't seem to happen that much when you deal with younger people. Anyway, food prices are not out of control. We were eating an out of control amount, and now it's hit us, right? It's kind of like if you were shooting drugs and drug prices went up, right? And I'm sure drug addicts would complain about that, right? That's what I saw this past year. Everything's just fine, right? We're addicts. Get over it, right?